Namaste, Jai Bharat. Doshaikadrikatva is a Sanskrit concept. That is viewing only doshas or negatively perceiving everything that's around one. The person who has this what you call property, negative property of Doshaikadrikatva is often called as Doshaikadrik. That in his drishti, that is in his vision, or in his eyes, or in his perception, the negativity appears first. Such people are called as Doshaikadriks. In modern times, Doshaikadrikatva is inadvertently also results from being one's attempt to be progressive. Again, it depends on what a person understands by being progressive. So it results from an attempt to become progressive, critical, enthusiastic about things, the attraction towards the left, liberal kinds of left liberalism, and obviously radicalism. Now, all those things which influences one in a social existence of knowing and reacting as well as acting can at times makes one a Doshaikadrik. So here what happens is a person is certainly thinks that to be anti-establishment is a in thing, it's a fashion, or that is something which ought to be carried out and done. So to be anti-establishment is sometimes seen as progressives or progression. I've seen in my younger days people those who were in the colleges and university, those who study, used to carry a red color book or a color with a red bind or in their hand as a sign of being a progressive liberal, and liberal is often associated with being left, etc., etc., etc. Because of this, a person's attitude is so shaped. Again, in many cases, as a matter of fact, as I understand, in most cases, this is inadvertently, not that people want to be, but they happen to be so, not really wanting from within. It's because of the kind of interaction with others. There's another Sanskrit term, samsarga guna dosha, even because of samsarga, that is contacts with people, the kind of society or the kind of group in which is more interacting with, etc., has this effect on the person who tends to be Doshaikadrik. Now these people are those who carry this negative property of Doshaikadrikatva are as a matter of fact against establishment. They will speak against, think against, and at times even act against what is establishment, with the presupposition of presumption that establishment is hegemonical or a set of activities and thoughts which are aimed towards intellectual reception of a society for their kind of social domination. This I am borrowing from Gramsci's expression, and also the concept of ideology from Marx, Tracy, all those people, Destiny, Tracy. Much before that, it was handled by Francis Bacon, Machiavelli, etc. These people have always thought of or did really write about intellectually deceiving society for their kind of domination, making the people feel that these are the right kind of rulers. That's political philosophy. It comes in that. So all these impacts are there with individuals, especially growing individuals, who are Doshaikadriks. And Doshaikadriks have this tendency of making distinctions between multiple things to their convenience. That's important, to their convenience. And this is a phenomenon what we see, where you have people who have opinions, and these days they normally call it as being critical, etc., etc., etc. Now, I would like to conclude saying that the remedy to Doshaikadrikatva in my society, that's in Bharatiya society, which is of our society, is two. One is the two methods I see. One is the Bharatiya Sanskriti. Sanskriti is culture in a rough kind of translation into English, but then culture is different from Sanskriti, as I always say. Sanskriti has the root, basis of a knowledge tradition, which is the Veda Upanishadic knowledge tradition, whether someone takes it as serious or not. And it has an expression, which is one of such expressions shall be this Sanskriti. So it's based on a knowledge tradition. So that makes a person refined, who would understand, who would attempt to understand. And the second escape from Doshaikadrikatva is dharma. Dharma is your broader term. You understand it in whichever manner one wants, but then there are ways to understand what dharma is. Dharma is too general. Let me, if at all it is possible to translate it into English, I would like to call it just righteousness. Righteousness. The rest is left to one's imagination, because there's a lot of subjective connotation into dharma. So dharma and Bharati is Sanskriti. Sanskriti is only for Bharati. Others are culture. And I've already spelled out the difference between culture and dharma. These are the two, where a person is oriented in these two, there a possibility of that person getting into Doshaikadrikatva is extremely less. Extremely less. So, if it's possible, let's interact with people around us through these two aspects, dharma and Sanskriti. And then sometimes it's extremely disappointing that very learned people whom you consider as very polished, that learned people are oftentimes very polished. When instances comes, situations comes, things from within them which they carry, again possibly inadvertently, comes out which shocks you. Such an experience happens. It happens very rarely though, but it happens, which puts you off, which disappoints you. So Doshaikadrikatva is something which destroys one's own mental peace, and then whatever he exhibits can disturb others' peace of mind and tranquility. At the end of the day, what our objective is or should be to maintain tranquility. And to maintain tranquility, you search for possible options of maintaining tranquility. And let's say, if you're Hindu and if you're in Bharat, it's quite easy because things are available to you. You can look for a guru, or you can go to the epistemology of coexistence of the Vedas, etc., etc. Look for a guru if you're not having time and patience to go through the texts and sit and contemplate through the three stages of knowing. That's Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. So we shall see this thing. We shall see. Hopefully people should focus on this kind of things to some good extent for a better human existence. Nonetheless, the human existence for individuals are a very short period. Our life, the length of our life is not that big. It's very, very limited. So it's up to one to understand things, and we shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.